More taxes in the name of public safety, what Tehama County Sheriff wants you to consider. Plus, thousands have already cast their ballots in Butte County's special election, the statewide election, what you need to know if you're not registered yet. And erosion at Orland's old dump exposes hazardous waste. We break down the cleanup options in front of City Council.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Tonight, we have new details about a potential new sales tax in Tehama County that could pay for a jail expansion. County supervisors will consider a potential 1% tax increase for public safety at tomorrow's meeting. Action News Now reporter Jesse Angelo joins us live there. So, Jesse, Sheriff Dave Kane says this really could go a long way.
That's right, Haley. I spoke with the sheriff earlier, and he says that a similar public safety sales tax in Butte County is already making a good impact there. He also says that Butte County's measure has caused some of his personnel to leave Tehama County's sheriff's office for the Butte County office. He also is concerned that if Measure A in Shasta County passes, he could lose even more people. All of this at a time that the Tehama County is looking to find a way to staff the new jail expansion here. Sheriff Kane told me, however, that a new tax would be a great help to his department.
I also look at the benefit that public safety tax has infused into Butte County and the services that we could provide here in Tehama County if we had something similar here.
Kane said that the grand jury has already told the county they need to plan now to staff the nearly completed jail. Now, I reached out to County Supervisor Greg Jones, who is spearheading the sales tax measure, but have yet to receive a response. Live in Red Bluff, Jesse Angelo, Action News Now.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. The board will hear a full presentation on the proposed tax at tomorrow's meeting in Red Bluff. Well, there is just one measure on California's November 4th statewide special election, Proposition 50. It would temporarily change how the state's congressional districts are drawn. But before voters can have their say, they have to make sure they're registered. The deadline to register online is midnight tonight. But as Action News Now reporter Jerry O'Lennon shows us, safeguards are in place to register after if you miss it.
Civic-minded voters are getting an early start ahead of the November 4th special election, making sure their voices are heard.
Whether it's just a one-issue ballot or a bunch of people running for office, I think if you don't vote, you have no right to complain.
Election officials say turnout thus far has exceeded expectations.
We have seen really strong early returns, higher than expected.
Keaton Denley with the Butte County Registrar of Voters says thousands of ballots are already in. And today marks the final day to register online for the November election. But if you miss it, there's still hope.
If you miss today's deadline, there is a safeguard in place where you can still show up in person. You can register to vote and vote in person at the same time.
The deadlines might be a bit confusing, but the message is clear. Make sure your vote counts. In Orville, Jerry O'Lennon, Action News Now.
Reading voters will have another measure to vote for this November, that 1% sales tax, which would go toward retaining staff in the police and fire departments. A decorated Vietnam veteran and local superdelegate for California's Democratic Action Committee has died. You might recognize this man here, Bob Mulholland. Leaders of several Butte County veterans organizations confirmed today that the 78-year-old Bob Mulholland died yesterday. His wife, Jane Dolan, was a longtime Butte County supervisor, and she served on the Chico City Council, too. We're told the cause of death is not yet known. Mulholland took great pride in serving in the U.S. Army as a member of the elite 101st Airborne, known as the Screaming Eagles. I keep getting texts from friends, people who knew him and loved him very much. In retirement, Mulholland helped raise awareness and funding to help U.S. service members and families of missing service members. The president of the Vietnam Veterans of America Tri-County Chapter 582, Warren Roll, told us, quote, Bob was priceless in our chapter. He helped bring the traveling wall to Chico recently, and he guided us well. Mulholland was a founding member of the chapter in 1970. Here's a live look from the Blue Mountain Modoc Alert California camera. Look at that beautiful sunset on your Monday evening. And our chief meteorologist, Howie Gordon, is tracking conditions to what's starting off as a pretty mild, kind of warm work week so far. Howie?
Beautiful day to start off the week, Haley. That picture you showed, I mean, that looks like things you see in the movies. That was just a beautiful, and you're like, oh, I like it's beautiful in California. Well, that's right, it is. And that's a great California shot. Thanks, Alert California Live and Haley. But as Haley said, on the warmer side today, close to, well, I'll give you the highs at 11. You got to tune in for that. But in the 80s today in the valley, Chester right now at 66, Quincy 72, Weaverville at 74 degrees. So a lot different than a week ago. We were rainy, windy, cool, and even snowy up in the mountains. Okay, here's our winds. They picked up a little bit today as some low pressure kind of moves up from the south. It's pulling dry, sinking air out of the north. But our moisture levels, they have come down, but our recent rains keeps us away from a big scare for fire weather. But look at this. We do have a frost advisory for parts of Trinity County. Temperatures could drop down to 33 degrees. You want to protect your plants and pets and any sensitive vegetation. But we are eventually going to cool down with the rain. Haley, we'll talk about it in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Howie. The Orland City Council this week will tackle contamination cleanup at the former city dump. The county notified the city that Stony Creek has caused erosion along one side of the property, located at the north end of County Road E. Inspections show that the erosions exposed old burn waste that could impact water quality and public health. A firm called Geologic identified options. Now the council must pick one and deliver a timeline for cleanup to the county. All options are expected to take a year or more to complete, and there's no word yet on an estimated cost. New tonight, United Against Hate Week is now underway. It's an incentive by the NorCal Stop the Hate and the Arc of Butte County and others. Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe shows us how you can take part.
The Arc of Butte County, NorCal Stop the Hate, and other agencies are spending this week bringing awareness to hate and the goal to stop hate in the community. The ARC provides services to people with developmental disabilities and their families. Executive Director Katrina Woodcock says it starts with education and starting conversations.
So I would just really encourage people again to take an opportunity to get outside of their comfort zone and maybe do something nice or say something nice to somebody that they might not normally do. And that's where it all begins. It's just doing something a little uncomfortable. You know, might be seeing somebody in a wheelchair, might be seeing somebody again that looks different than you, or maybe a different religion or a different nationality than you. Just smile and say hi. You know, that it's that first step that counts the most.
Done. As part of the initiative, NorCal Stop the Hate has a video campaign featuring locals in our area. These stories will be shared at the Chico Area Interfaith Council's annual dinner on November 13th. And there are several resources available online and at the ARC if you're curious of how to get involved. Reporting in Chico, I'm Margot Rowe for Action News Now.
The ARC of Butte County says another initiative where businesses can get involved in ARC's mission is supported employment programs, which help get adults with developmental disabilities into the workforce. Students from Orville High School have given the iconic O on Table Mountain a fresh coat of paint. The O stands for Orville High School, and it was first created in 1929. It's 87 by 33 feet, and it's up on a steep hillside. Orville High School coach Rob Anderson told Action News Now that a group of student athletes in the Block O Club did the work with the help from a neighbor to the property. Recology donated 30 gallons of white paint for the project. It wasn't an easy job, but Anderson says it gave the students a sense of pride and a sense of community. This week on Straight from the Source, Butte County District 1 Supervisor Bill Connolly talked about generative AI and why he thinks social media has a divisive effect on our community.
It's not like it was before the Civil War, so it's not that bad. But it's not good that we can't agree to try to make our local area better, or our state better, or our country better without name calling and without hatefulness.
Yeah.
And hatefulness has never solved anything.
Right.
I believe in freedom of speech and all that. But there's also people that create a site that's not a real human.
Right.
And then they as a public official, I have to let anybody comment
Yeah.
on anything I do. I get that. But if you're fake, you're a coward.
On top of all that, now we're dealing with the generative AI. I just saw something about
That's a
some
little
new
bit scary,
AI
isn't it?
actress yesterday, and all the actors and the writers are like rebelling against this. What do you think? Is there going to be like an AI county supervisor someday? I hope not.
AI is scary because it's one of the science fiction books you could have read 50 years ago that whoever feeds it the information, I think AI is scary because they could go, well, humans are the worst thing ever happened, right? I think it's scary to me because I can't get my head around how they're going to control it the more it thinks for itself.
Well, I know AI reporters in the field, that will not work. But the full unedited conversation, we talk about a lot more than just that. It's available now on our Action News Now YouTube channel, our homepage, or really any podcast platform. Chico-ween is just around the corner. Chico police share essential safety tips for families and drivers. And new at 6, California hunters soon get the green light to target invasive mute swans.